Hey, gun people. That's a pretty righteous shooting. I'm gonna have to side with the cops on this one. So if you don't want to watch it because you're so biased that you think I should either hate them or love them, just because I agree with what they did here per the law doesn't mean I support government abusive tyranny. But anyway, let's get to this video here. Let's see what happened. So cops are responding to a shoplifting. Shoplifting are normally a misdemeanor. Then the suspect supposedly pulled a knife on two people that confronted him. So now it's not a misdemeanor, it's a felony. Now, I don't know if he used the knife to shoplift. I don't know if he carried the knife. I don't know if he got the knife out of the car when he was confronted. But regardless, the guy is threatened and he's armed himself when the cops show up.
Does he have a knife? Okay.
You got a gun.
Got a large knife. Okay, hey, get back.
Okay, here's, right here, these women, or this man and this woman, kind of get close to him, which tells me they're not fearful of him. They're not scared. Doesn't appear like they're being threatened. So, but because the cops, as soon as they heard knife, and cops are taught, don't mess around with a knife, it's a stabbing instrument, it's an impact weapon, it'll kill you, it can't kill you, they can cut an artery, you can bleed out, it's in some cases worse than a gun, because you don't have to reload, you can take out multiple suspects. So, cops don't play around normally with edged weapons. I've got a really good video. If you search, I think I have a knife playlist where all my videos concerning knives are on that playlist. And it's a pretty good playlist because YouTube has tried to shadow ban and block the video, and it looks like it's been deleted, but if you click a little box on the icon, it says you can still watch it and you agree. So I have some good knife footage on why you don't play around with knives. But anyway, here we go. Okay, at this point, she runs away. Obviously, she's fearful of something. Again, this is going to go to totality of circumstances. The cop sees the guy and sees a woman running away, and he's been told that the person has a knife. Now he sees the knife. The guy has the knife. The other guy backs away. He's got his gun out. So far, I'm okay with everything. Doesn't matter if this guy committed a misdemeanor or a felony right now. Because he's armed with a deadly weapon, he's taken a defensive aggressive stance, and he's got people running from him, and we suspect him of a crime. It's a felony, and we have to treat him as if he's dangerous. Now, is he a threat to this guy right here? Some people would have said right here he could have shot him. I think legally, not that I agree with it, but legally, he could have shot him right now and he'd have been okay. But he doesn't, which is a good thing. Cops shouldn't shoot fast and easy.
Get back! Get back! Put the knife down! Get back down! Get down!
Okay, so he's now focusing on the cop with the gun. These two guys turn their back, walk away. Are they fearful? I'm not sure they're fearful. Of course, this guy's focused on the cop now, and the cops are here.
Put it down, brother. I don't want to hurt you. No, yes, you do. Put it down.
Okay, so this is a good thing here. The guy backs away and goes to the car, so he creates distance. Good thing. This cop, this is my big thing with cops lately. If I know a guy's got a knife, there's no reason for me to stand out in the open and keep my gun on him. I don't have to stand here. I could move back to my car. I could get these people away, and I could create distance. I could make him charge me, and not only does it look better for a jury, but it makes me justify the shooting if I end up having to shooting you. I did everything I could to stop this. Now, this cop does a pretty good job, but, yeah, we'll see.
I'm going to hurt you. No! Put it down, brother. No! Put it down, son.
Okay, so he's got pretty good distance. You look at the top right, he's got some pretty good distance from the guy. He's got a pretty good, fairly good stance. He's got almost a range stance. You know, one leg forward, one leg back, 60-40, more weight on the front foot than the back foot. He's got a two-handed grip. So I'm okay with this cop right here.
It's not worth it.
Guy took a few steps to him. He could have shot him right there. Would it have been justified? Absolutely. Would it have been legal per the law? Yes, it would have. Morally, could you justify that I really needed to shoot him? I say no. Unfortunately, DAs and stuff don't put cops on this judgment anymore, which is why cops shoot easy now, because they're like, doesn't matter, it's going to be justified. And if this cop would have shot, he would have been okay. But he's going to be able to deal with the shooting better mentally and feel better about it because he waits.
Yes, it is. Put it down, man. It is. I just talked to you the other day, man. Just put it down. You did not. Yeah, I did. Well, tell me about it. I like this.
There's a lot of cops that are going to be talking shit about him because this guy is probably within 21 feet and he could get on him. Look, 21 feet is like 3 steps. If you take 3 jumping steps, 1, 2, 3, you're pretty much in stabbing distance and you can get there quick. Now, obviously, if you're going forward, usually the cop's going backwards, so it's going to take more than 3 steps, which will give him more time to shoot. But messing around with edged weapons, I think this cop should have gotten much more distance. I think he should have been behind this tree, behind a light pole, behind another car, and he could have been yelling commands. This stand up, I got to stand here, I'm not going to back down kind of ego thing, that's why cops are shooting everybody. Nobody knows how to create distance and get behind cover. So the shootings look like they should look like. It was an absolute no alternative. I had no choice. Shooting should be last resort, not macho ego. I was authorized. It was okay. He had a knife. He was within 21 feet. I'm covered by policy. That's not why shooting should happen. Shooting should happen when there's no other options.
Go! Put it down, man. No. Put it down. No. Come on, man. Let me help you. Stop.
Okay, so the guy's going at him again. Could have shot him easy. He's decreasing distance. Legal? Yes. Justified? Yes. Some cops will be saying he was a fool for not shooting. He should have shot him. Why are you screwing around? Why are you risking your life? This guy's life doesn't mean nothing to him. Why are you risking your life messing around with a knife? I think the cop's doing what he probably should do. I think he should have created distance earlier when he had the opportunity to maybe look around and pick a good spot. Because of that, when you get in a panic and you stand out in the open and you got tunnel vision and you're locked on a suspect, you don't look behind you. And this is how you trip and fall and put yourself in a compromising position.
Stop it.
Right here. Bad thing. If this guy wanted him right here, could have got him. Gun went away. Cop had to support himself from falling. If he'd have jumped and swung, could have got him in the throat, could have cut his wrist, could have attacked him pretty good. So this is why a lot of cops, if I want to make cops in court, and if I show this to a jury, here, let me put my cop hat on, defending all cops if they're heroes. This officer risked his life, even though he could have shot him multiple times before. This is why we tell officers not to wait. This is why it's unsafe to wait. This is why this officer could have been killed, because he waited, because he tripped. And things like this happen all the time. And that's why you should always find cops innocent when they shoot people for no reason. Okay, that's my expert testifying in front of a jury that don't know any better. And some people would buy that. I think it's BS, but hey, you can BS a lot of people.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so he gets back up. The fact that this guy moved away when he was down tells me this guy doesn't want to hurt anybody. Instead of taking advantage of this guy on the ground, he actually backed away and created distance himself. Another reason I think this guy probably doesn't want to get shot and doesn't want to hurt anybody. But when you're yelling and screaming and you got a gun pointed and you got a knife and neither side wants to back down, it ends up like it does.
Let me go, yes.
So the guy's walking this way, cop's tracking him again. The cop isn't creating distance. The cop is really in fight or flight tunnel vision. This guy is a lot more relaxed than the cop. Well, Rick, the cop's closer. Well, okay, he doesn't need to be closer. This guy could be standing back here protecting a pesky citizen. And he doesn't. He's following and tracking because he's got tunnel vision, because he's not thinking. So now the guy's got a car behind him. Again, this guy is chasing and tracking. Does he need to do that? Could he stay at the front of the car? Could he create distance and let the guy walk away and follow him at a safer distance so he has more time to react? Sure he could. He didn't choose to. I'm not saying this cop is a bad guy and we should hate him and dox him and kill him, and he's a mean, evil dude, and he wanted to shoot this guy. Cops get tunnel vision sometime. I mean, this guy's like, shit, what do? Do I let him go? If he kills somebody else, I'll feel bad. I can't let him go. I've got him in my sights. I'm close enough. He's already proved to me that he's a threat. So he's thinking, you know, if I was another cop there, another cop should say, dude, back up. There's two of us. Let's partner up, buddy up with me, get over here, 2-on-1, and we'll track him from a distance. But Rick, if he runs in the apartment, he can kill somebody, and then, I mean, you can always make up things that would if and butts, coconuts, all that other shit. But the fact of the matter is, they don't need to be that close to a guy with a knife, in my opinion. So there is a second guy there. Did you see that second guy? Second cop here? Second cop right here. So we have two cops out in the open. This cop is at a greater distance. This guy is too close in my book. Doesn't need to be this close. Is that his finger on the trigger, or is that the extended mag release? I can't tell. There's a nub right there. I don't think it's his finger, but that's a pretty big mag release.
Stop it! Stop it!
So he's walking at the other cop. I think the other cop is creating distance. Again, I still think this cop is too close.
Stop it! Put it down! Put it down! No! Put it down!
So now the guy walks toward him and he raises his hand. This guy could have been shot, hell, before they even contacted him. I told you, when he raised the knife at the two other people, they could have shot and killed him. So when you have multiple times to shoot somebody that's justified and you don't, that helps your case. That makes you look more reasonable in front of the jury. That makes you less likely for DA to charge you because you're out there being a hot dog. That makes you less likely to have the outcry of public saying, we got to get this cop. He shot him for no reason. He's just a jackboot. He wanted to shoot him. This all helps your case. It not only helps a cop, it helps a citizen. If you're carrying a gun and you have to use deadly force, the more times you can try not to use it, the better it's going to look. Now, sometimes you can't. A lot of guys will say, don't draw your gun until you're ready to shoot. I don't agree with that, because that few seconds, if you wait that long, by the time you draw it, you may lose. So I don't necessarily agree with that, but this cop is a little close, and a guy raises the knife, and they end up plugging him 3 times. The guy lives. He doesn't die. You have 2 cops shooting him at a very close distance with a 2-handed grip. It's not like they had to draw. All they had to do is aim and shoot, and they're standing up, and they shoot him 3, I think 3 rounds are fired, and he lives with non-life-threatening injuries. See how many rounds are fired. If I could slow that down. We'll go 25. Well, they made it shot 4 times. I think he shot 3 times. And in the news report, it said both officers fired. Oh, missed it. 1, 2, 3. So this guy shoots fire 3 times. I don't know how many rounds the other guy, they didn't say. They did say both officers fired, and he's in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Is this a good shoot? I mean, yeah, it's a better shoot than most. Do I think this guy needed to be that close? No, I don't. But, you know, the cops will come here. Rick, you're just picking on the cops because you don't like them, and you're taking their side because you love them. Whatever. All right, we'll end that there.